This is the Samsung Odyssey Ark, and it's a pretty insane curved gaming screen with over-the-top specs and a pretty insane design. Samsung touts this as the new frontier for gaming, and to a certain extent, we definitely do agree. But in our experience, well, this might just serve as a better productivity display more so than gaming. First up, we have to talk about specs, and there's quite a lot of that here. For a monitor, this is a staggering 55 inches and offers 4K resolution running up to 165Hz with a 1 millisecond grey-to-grey response time. It will also cover way above 100% sRGB and up to 95% DCI-P3 with a typical brightness of about 600 nits and a max brightness of 1000. All of that is mostly thanks to the use of Quantum Mini LED of the VA variety. Additionally, you get HDR10 Plus support, which is equivalent to HDR 1000 with over 1000 zones for local dimming and even FreeSync Premium Pro. As for inputs, most of them will be found on the Samsung One Connect box, which most of you might find familiar as it's directly borrowed from their line of TVs. A single cable connects the box to the monitor itself, and the box will feature 4 HDMI 2.1 inputs, with one of them supporting eARC, alongside RJ45 Ethernet, optical audio, and a USB 3 upstream. But arguably the most prominent and most outstanding feature of this very product is that aggressive curve of 1000R. Now in contrast, most other monitors will feature a curve of either 1500R or 1800R or even 2300R. If you're wondering what they mean, well, if you take a monitor that has an 1800R curve and you were to place them in a row to form a circle, the resulting radius of that circle will be 1.8 meters. So if you take multiple Odyssey Arcs and do the same, the resulting radius would be just a meter. In essence, the lower the number, the more aggressive the curve, and that's what you can see right here. Whether you like it or not, it is a distinct and unique feature, and just sitting at a reasonable distance away from it, you still feel the edges of the display wrapping near your peripheral vision. It really makes for a unique experience unlike any other, especially when you're gaming using the full 55 inches. Games of the first-person variety such as Valorant or Halo Infinite really felt that much more immersive in more ways than one. When you're sitting at just the right distance, it really does give you a slightly elevated experience with that natural peripheral vision. With a powerful rig, you'll also be able to make full use of the 165Hz refresh rate and really reap the benefits. Or if you have an all AMD system, this will support VRR via the use of FreeSync Premium Pro as well. On the other hand, if you just want to kick back and relax, you can just connect a controller of your choice. And you can then launch a game like Shadow of the Tomb Raider and be really immersed in a world which can be further enhanced with the help of HDR. And not to mention, the sound system that's built right into the Odyssey Ark is pretty impressive. We are looking at 4 corner speakers and 2 central woofers, which produce a total of 60 watts with a 2.2.2 channel setup, and it's further supplemented with the inclusion of Dolby Atmos. Games, movies, or just plain music, it'll perform admirably, and we dare say that if you're short on desk space, you don't really need additional speakers, if at all. But now, not everybody has the space to comfortably use the entire 55 inches that this offers. Well, there's this function called Flex Move Screen, which allows you to change the effective screen size anywhere from the full 55 inches down to a much more standard 27 inches, and it's pretty intuitive. You can even move the screen position and change the aspect ratio should you so desire. One cool Easter egg is also the fact that the background graphics that cover the unused space is actually tied to the colors that are on your active display, so it will change accordingly depending on the situation. This function can be accessed by toggling through the menu using the joystick on the bottom, or use the remote control, or by using the Arc dial. Which, speaking of, the Arc dial gives you instant access to some pretty useful settings such as the quick settings, or the flex move screen, the game bar, and much more. The game bar in particular might probably be your most used function. It gives you quick access to the most important things such as the response time, the game picture, refresh rate, HDR, and much more. You can either use the remote control or the Arc dial, and you can easily choose and toggle the settings on the fly. From a purely gaming-centric standpoint, the Odyssey Ark is a pretty fantastic monitor/TV curved gaming screen. It really does offer that much more, with the full 4K resolution, a high refresh rate, giving you a really enjoyable gaming experience. Depending on the types of games that you want to play, this might just be the ultimate monitor for you. But that's not all. there's more to this than just gaming, and we dare say that it's even better when you're not gaming. If you've yet to notice, the Odyssey Ark actually runs on the same OS as used in the Samsung TVs, which means you get built-in apps such as YouTube, Spotify, Twitch, and much more, just like you would with one of Samsung TVs. This plays really nice with arguably one of the best features from this very display, and that's multi-view, and it gives you, well, as its name implies, a plethora of different layouts. You can choose to have two displays side by side like a dual monitor setup, a full display with a smaller display in the corner via picture-in-picture, a variety of larger main display with a smaller secondary display on the side, or go all out with a quad display setup. So whichever you choose, you can have your PC as one display, perhaps the YouTube app as the other, or Spotify or the built-in browser, and much more. Essentially, this allows you to kind of multitask and be able to enjoy the benefits of a multi-monitor setup, but all of that in just one huge display. The only caveat and biggest disappointment that we have with this implementation is the fact that you can only have one external input for any of the layouts. The rest of the inputs must come from the built-in apps on the Odyssey Ark itself. So if you're thinking of plugging in your desktop and your laptop, no dice. If you're thinking of doing so with your PC and your console, no dice either. But in any case, we are not done here. There's still quite a lot more that's great about this. You've probably seen it, but despite this being a 55-inch display, you can actually rotate the entire display a full 90 degrees and use it in portrait mode. Samsung calls this cockpit mode, and the moment we sat down in front of it in this very mode, we instantly understood why. For you now have a display that literally towers over you. And even in this mode, you can still tilt and pivot the display slightly to match your specific seating posture. Now at this point, you can also utilize multi-view and have up to 3 displays stacked on top of one another, and sure, if that's your jam, go for it. But in our opinion, utilizing the entire display as one huge external monitor with your PC is the best way to do things, especially with Windows 11. Because with Windows 11, you can simply drag and drop your windows into the specific corners or points and create your own multi-view layout, consisting of different windows or applications within your system itself. This way, you can multitask even better thanks to the fact that it's a single system, and you're literally using the Odyssey Ark as you would with 3 16:9 monitors stacked on top of one another. It's quite the amazing experience, and in that case, we do feel that it actually makes much more sense. In our instance, we could be writing a script on the bottom window, have a reference page like a product page on the website on the window above, and right at the very top where you rarely need to take a look would be our folders and documents. All of that at a single glance. If you need to drag and drop things around, it's really easy. Again, because it's a single system. And yeah, that's really pretty much it. This is a really unique monitor unlike any other, and while it's great for gaming, it's honestly much more awesome from productivity. With all that said, however, you're going to be paying quite the premium price. This will set you back roughly $3,500 US or 5,000 Singapore dollars. Without a doubt, that's pricey, and arguably, you're getting less for your money when using multi-view, since despite having the same amount of displays per se, you aren't getting the same amount of resolution. But despite all that, we have to say that we really enjoyed our time with this display, and it's a really unique experience. And yes, it's got its flaws, it's kind of quirky, but overall, it's still really that unique. But if you're thinking of even getting this Odyssey Ark, well, we have to say that definitely make sure that you know what you're getting into. If you have any questions, let us know in the comment section down below. If you'd like to, do check out our affiliate links as well. If you do, thanks for the support. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Till the next one. See ya!